happened?
That was a bad idea.
Okay, so you saw this. Okay, that vacuum is super loud. So you saw this in our video that just came out today, actually. Uh-oh. Well, we can never close this again once we pry this open here. Yeah, look at that. We have a bunch of cleaning to do. So here's the before.
Yeah, let's give them a good, like, let's open
Look
up
at
all
this.
the doors.
Look at how gross this is. Yeah, but I think this is the grossest. This needs a good, we should have brought a magic eraser for that.
Well, most of this, once we get the baseline done, we can take it back home and finish. We just need to decrud this because the steering wheel's gross, the dash is gross, center console's gross.
Yeah.
There's been kids in here for years. Like, this is just...
There's a weird rattle here we should look into.
It's an aftermarket TV system. Oh my god, yeah, open up and show them the back seats, all the stains. No leather interior, so it's not like it's the end of the world. The fabric's not ruined.
Well,
Yeah, look at all the stains and everything in here. It's yummy.
it's gross. We have a lot to do. We wanted to show you what it looks like now. Yeah, it's pretty dirty back in here too. Okay. Check this out. Those cup holders are the ashtray.
Starting to look a little bit better. It was very dirty in here. We'll see. We just found out we had third row seating not that long ago. It's kind of weird. Cool, weird, I guess, I don't know. But this is how it all pretty much looks. It's, you know, years of having kids back here does not do this thing well. I was trying to figure out how to lift these things up. There's got to be a way to do it. I think I'm gonna have to Google it though. Starting to actually look pretty nice. Well, the carpets are looking better anyway. This is still in need of a lot of TLC. This is storage for days. I like it.
I like this little toolbox.
Yeah.
What do we want to keep in here so I can shut this up?
Yeah, this will fit all of my tools in here easy.
All right, we did as much vacuuming as we could, and now we're gonna get a wash.
I know.
Make sure everything is closed up. Pretty sure our windows weren't down.
And then we'll take it home and we'll start to address
this.
So at least, you know, we got all the ash out of here, so we're not gonna make cigarette mud now.
It's still probably gonna be a little,
still gonna be a little
muddy.
I mean, you can see Audrey's pointing out.
Yes. We're pretty impressed with this guy's getting down in all the little grooves.
Nice, good job. There was mud. It was like a 2 inches thick all the way up to the windshield wipers. There's some underneath the tree for a few months, I think. Let's find a razor blade for the freaking marker on the window.
I know. There's marker. Look at this.
So weird.
Are we moving forward? Check it out.
I've always loved this.
Crusty cup holders do come out, and I've been working at this mud for a while now.
Yeah, we were trying to vacuum it all out so we didn't make that, but...
Ugh, but...
I just hooked myself. Hang on a second. It was hooked, and it caught my ponytail, and I couldn't move. I was part of the car for a second. I'm back here in the back seat, and we're cleaning all this up. I don't know if you can see, but there's I don't know if a mess was ever cleaned up in this back seat. It was way worse. It's actually much better now. I got the center console, but I've been doing all of this, right? I started up here, and I work around, Audrey, what have you been doing the whole time?
Working on the cup
Just a cup holder.
They
Yeah.
had like an inch deep sludge down in here. This one's broken and missing the bottom.
Well, and that's where they kept their butt can.
So this one had, yeah, like a cigarette ashtray. My nails are just disgusting. Look at this.
Ew.
And then there's like clumps of black sludge on the driveway out here from the bottom of the cup.
So the whole time I've been working on the rest of the car, this is all she's been doing.
And it's still not
working.
done.
I know.
It's still filthy.
I'll be done with the whole car before she gets done with that.
But look, get this area. Look how much better this looks.
Oh yeah, we got all that ash out of there. And like what you can actually touch the steering wheel without getting gross, and touch the door without getting gross. And this seat had a bunch of crap all over it too.
Like goobers.
It was like someone was just wiping the snot on the back of the seat. It's so gross. Okay, so we got our Acura cleaned up the other day. It's still got some lingering cigarette smoke in here, so we're leaving the windows open today to help just fumigate it. I'm loading it up. I have to go up to the cities tomorrow and work on an RV, so I popped the hood. I found these in my toolkit, or my cleaning kit. I don't know if they're still good or not. They went through a Minnesota winter, so they're probably all dried up, but if there's anything left in them, I'm gonna go over everything, at least in the front here today. I'm gonna get some seat covers and stuff ordered for these, just to keep it as nice as possible while we have it, because again, we might be selling this thing, we don't know yet. When we got this thing, these things have like really, really brown headlight covers, and this just happens from having a plastic lens. Exposed the environment for over 10 years, you know. A lot of people have cars with plastic lenses. I see a lot of headlights on the road that are brown like this, and if you notice, this one's actually a little bit lighter, and it looks like someone maybe tried to even sand this. I don't know if there's like some oxidation happening here. But this light looks newer than this light, so obviously this has been replaced before, maybe because of another accident. I don't necessarily see the signs of a bad accident. I don't see any frame damage or welding down here, so whatever it was probably just a fender bender, and you can kind of tell too from the way that this is sort of sticking out that it has been smacked in the past. And you know, it's a curb rash on it for sure. I'm probably gonna maybe see if I can get a color match bumper, because that'll increase the value when we go to sell it. And then I'm gonna give this thing a buff job here, I don't know, in the next week or two to take out, you know, I don't know if you can see all these. Yeah, I'll probably take out most of these. Some kids got to the paint with, you know how kids be. We're gonna wet sand these headlights down. We're gonna start with this one because this one's the worst one. And we're gonna see if I can make these a little bit brighter for our trip up to the cities tomorrow. We're gonna start doing this.
Doing what?
Basically, I am going to be wet sanding this, and then we're going to be polishing, buffing it out to try and bring back clearness to this lens so that we get a little bit more light through here at night. I used to be an auto detailer in one of my previous lifetimes, and I was pretty good at it. And one of the things that I really was good at was cleaning headlights. I use glass cleaner instead of water. What we're doing is we're doing what's called wet sanding. A lot of people will spray this down with water, and then you use a very fine sandpaper. Invisible Glass is my glass cleaner of choice. I love this stuff. It's the best. Go get you some. We don't get sponsored by anybody because, you know, we're nobodies. We just give a very generous coating. The thing about this is you never want to do this when it's dry because you will mess it up. And you want to make sure that you're avoiding, a lot of people will use tape to kind of avoid the sensitive areas that they don't want to scratch the paint off of. I've just been doing it for a while, so I know where I can scrub and where I can't. And you want to make sure that we just keep a generous amount of schmutz on here. I'm just going to be working the whole headlight over and over again here. And what we're doing is we're just pulling up all of the dirt and all of the debris that gets stuck into that plastic. Of course, if you do accidentally hit the paint, just make sure that as long as you're not going through the paint, you can buff it out. Then again, you can mask all this off. I could have taken tape and some newspaper and masked that all off, so it's a little bit more protected, but again, I've been doing this for a while. All right, so I got this scrubbed. I probably spent like 3-5 minutes on it. I'm gonna wipe it down now. Now you can see how compared to the other lens, it is much less brown, so we pull all the brown oxidation out of it. But you can see how hazy it is now. Because essentially what we did is we scratched it all up. We scratched the surface to remove all the brown plastic. So now we have clear plastic underneath. And now I have to shine that clear plastic off. Just get some extension cords out, and we'll get the buffing pad ready to go, and I'll show you how that's done.
Time to bring the awning back out.
Much easier than the first time.
We had to put it in because it was super windy the other day. I prefer the shade too, babes.
looks a little old and you might think that maybe I need a new one, but you can get a lot of life out of one of these pads if you know how to clean them. This one, for instance, is like, I don't know, a decade old. So it's nice and fluffy again.
I've coated the snow.
But I use Meguiar's. I think it's the best. I mean, any rubbing compound, polishing compound would really work here. Put a generous amount your first round or go around, and make sure that it's all spread out evenly before you pull the trigger so we don't make a bigger mess than we already have. I spread an even, generous amount here, everywhere. By hand first. I want to make sure it's nice and applied throughout the whole surface. What I'm working on, you can see it's not all clumped up there, so now I can start nice and slow. Use it until the compound is all gone, and that's one pass. We're gonna go ahead and wipe that clean. And look how much that first pass has just improved. Just that one. Wow. Yeah. So that was the worst one. That looks brand new. There's still a little bit of light scratching in there, and I could probably wet sand it a little bit more. That compared to now this.
When I first saw these headlights, it was nighttime, and we stopped to jump out to look at them again because it looked like we had one out.
Yes.
This one was way
brown.
worse than this one. This one's pretty bad, but it wasn't as bad as the other.
But now look at this one, which looked good compared to the other one.
Compared, but still looked.
Now that doesn't look good at all. We'll start this one, and then we'll be able to go drive at night now. I just got done wet sanding this side. You can see how cloudy it is. Imagine if I left it like that compared to the other one. When I get done with it, it'll look exactly like that. And that looks, I'm looking through that like it's clear as day right now. One more time with the messy stuff. I did not like the thought of having to drive back from the cities tomorrow without bright headlights.
Looking so much better.
Yeah, eventually maybe we'll see at night. So, I mean, this only took like 45 minutes of actual work. It's really easy to do. And if you have brown headlights, man, there's no quicker way to get yourself back on the road and be able to actually see at night.
I mean, you gotta have one of these.
Yeah, you gotta have a drill, and you gotta have a buffing pad, and some polishing compound. But so we're back at the car wash again. It rained and like left this. I don't know if you can see it. You can see all that dirt. It's just like really gross and acidic from the Canadian wildfires. So I don't want us or the dogs touching it. So here we are, getting another cheap car wash before we go up to the cities and rescue an RV.